to tutorial 3, declaring variables and assigning values through program input and output. In this tutorial, I will explain declaring variables, assigning values, and also input and screen output through the program. Once your C# is loaded again and you've created a new project, let's get started. Alright, for this first example, we have int y and int x, the first two lines of code, which represents declaring a variable. Variables are named buckets containing values in the computer's memory. Int is the C# term for integer, which is a mathematical term referred to as a number that doesn't represent a fraction or decimal value. Here we are assigning variables. X equals 7 and y equals x plus 3. The equal sign is an assignment operator. Also, if you notice where the console.write line, where it's housing the y, we are setting the y value into the write line method, and once we run the application, the y value should print to screen. Alright, we're going to assign values. So in this example, while I was typing it, IntelliSense automatically formatted my code while I was writing the code because it knew that I had created a variable. So that just goes to show you the power of the IDE while you're typing your code. To explain this code, string is the keyword for creating memory that holds textual information. If you take a close look at the code and how it is written, the code, it shows lowercase letters and also uppercase letters. This is referred to as camel case, which allows your code to be easily read. Also, you can use camel case when creating a local variable within the method. And once you write this code and run it, you should get a solution printed to screen. 10 and Bob should be the solution printed to screen. Also, if you try to use the same variable, so if you try to use, my first name in a different way, IntelliSense will ask if you want to rename your variable because you can't have two of the same names while writing your code. So it's important to have consistency while you're naming. Having consistency with your naming conventions. Alright. For my last code, it will explain the program input and screen output to the application. Alright, the code is on our screen and we're going to break it down. So the console write line, please type something and press return. It gives instructions through the console. The string user value. So here I've created a value in memory to hold a string value. So when someone types in and then enters the value, it will be saved to the user value. Then once it's ran, the application is ran, it will be print it to screen. And once it's printed to screen, it should prompt you to type a option, and then once you type your option, it should also print to screen what you type, and you should press enter. The overview of tutorial 3, we learned about declaring values and assigning variables. We introduced string. We introduced integer and operators such as the equal sign. We worked more with the read line and executions. We also understood the importance of naming conventions and using camel case. We also introduced and used user program input and printing output to the screen. See you in the next tutorial.